You are listening to Revenge Rain. Enjoy the story. My sister has a body swap system. When the SAT results were released, I stared at the screen for a long time. 1580. A near-perfect score. I rushed out of my room, eager to share the good news with my parents. But as soon as I opened the door, I saw them hugging my twin sister, Bella, comforting her softly. "Bella, honey, it's okay if you didn't do well. You can take a gap year and retry, or we can send you to study abroad in Europe." My mother held her tightly, eyes full of pity. Bella sobbed, "Mom, Dad, I usually score over 1400 on practice tests. Why did I only get 800 this time? Did I fill in the bubbles wrong? How could I make such a stupid mistake? I'm sorry." Her crying got louder. My parents hugged her tighter, their hearts breaking for their precious angel. I stood there and smirked. Her practice scores were all from cheating. Of course, she failed the real thing. Just then, Mom saw me. Her face instantly darkened. "Zoe, what are you doing here? Go back to your room. Don't just stand there like a ghost." My heart went cold. I spoke calmly. "Mom, Dad, I scored 1580. I didn't expect them to care, but I had to tell them." As expected, they froze. There was no joy in their eyes, only shock. The next second, Bella wailed even louder, as if the sky was falling. Crash! A glass cup shattered at my feet. I looked up. Dad still had his hand raised in a throwing motion. He yelled, "What do you mean? Can't you see your sister is upset? You come here to brag? Get out!" Mom glared at me with pure hatred. "You ungrateful brat! Even in the womb, you stole nutrients from Bella, making her weak and sickly. Now she fails her exam, and you come to rub salt in her wound? Why did I give birth to such a vicious daughter?" I stared at them, my eyes dead. Bella sniffled weakly. "Mom, Dad, don't blame Zoe. It's my fault I'm stupid. Zoe did well. She should be happy. I don't blame her." But I didn't miss the flash of jealousy in her eyes. Mom hugged Bella tighter. "My Bella is so kind. Your sister is rotten to the core. No one will ever love someone like her." She turned to me again. "Still standing there? Get out!" I sneered and walked back to my room. Behind me, Mom's voice continued to nag. "That damn Zoe. She stole your health in the womb. Now she steals your luck in the exams. She's evil." I threw myself onto my bed. 1580. I finally did it. I'm going to Harvard. Thinking back to their twisted logic, I laughed. Stealing nutrients? Stealing luck? I didn't hold her hand during the test. I didn't break her pencil. How is her failure my fault? I just need to leave this house, far away, forever. I drifted into a deep sleep. When I opened my eyes again, I was staring at a pink ceiling. I sat up, panicked. This is Bella's room. Did I sleepwalk? If Bella finds out, she'll scream and get me beaten again. I scrambled out of bed and ran to the door, but I tripped over the threshold and fell hard. Thud. I was dizzy. Through the haze, I heard my parents' anxious voices. "Bella, are you okay? Did you get hurt? Oh my God, Bella!" I blinked. They were kneeling beside me, looking at me with worry and love, a look I had never received in my entire life. I stood up shakily. "I'm fine, just tripped." At that moment, the door to the next room opened. I saw myself. Zoe walked out, looking sleepy and annoyed. "What time is it? Why are you guys so loud?" My parents' faces turned dark instantly. Dad roared, "Why are you yelling? Can't you see your sister fell? Don't just stand there. Help her up." The person in my body widened her eyes in shock. A crazy thought flashed through my mind. Is that Bella? I wanted to ask, but I stopped myself. I let Zoe help me back into Bella's room. As soon as the door closed, I pinned her against the wall. "You are Bella, aren't you?" I asked coldly. The person in my body shrugged. "Yep, I'm Bella." I froze. We really swapped bodies. But Bella didn't look surprised. She looked smug. "You knew this would happen?" I asked. Bella laughed, a creepy, distorted laugh coming from my own face. Of course. She pushed me away and sat on the pink bed. Last night, a fairy came to me in a dream. He gave me a chance to swap lives with you. I said yes. Why? I whispered. Bella glared at me with pure venom. Why? Look at yourself. We are twins, but you are taller, prettier, smarter. Even my cheating couldn't beat your real scores. Even the boy I likes you. Every day I asked, why? Why do you get everything? She smirked. But now God has eyes. Now I am Zoe with the 1580 SAT score. And you? You are Bella with the 800 score. I'm going to Harvard, and you can go to community college or whatever. Have fun living a mediocre life. She stood up and walked out, her steps light and happy. I watched her go and shook my head. Poor girl. She doesn't realize one thing. In this house, if Bella doesn't want Zoe to be happy, Zoe will never be happy. I followed her out. Breakfast was a feast. Bella sat down and reached for the biggest piece of toast. Smack! Mom hit her hand with a chopstick, hard. Eat, eat, eat! All you know is eating. Your sister hasn't even sat down yet. Why are you so selfish? My own hand, now Bella's hand, turned red. Bella gasped, tears welling up in my eyes. She tried to use her usual pity tactic, but Mom didn't even look at her. She turned to me, in Bella's body, with a blinding smile. Bella, honey, come sit. Does it still hurt? Here, take the big piece. She put the toast Bella wanted onto my plate. Bella's face, my face, turned purple with rage. She forgot she was Zoe now. Mom, I picked that piece first. Why did you give it to her? Slam. Mom slammed her chopsticks down. Zoe, what is wrong with you today? Can't you yield to your sister? You think because you got a high score you are the queen now? Bella froze. She bit her lip, realizing her mistake. She lowered her head and ate silently. Mom turned back to me, voice sweet as honey. Bella, have you decided? Gap year or study abroad? I took a bite of toast. I thought for a moment. Gap year. I want to retake the SATs. I know I can do better next year. Great idea, Mom beamed. She immediately pulled out her phone. I'll hire the best tutors, the most expensive prep school, whatever you need, baby. I nodded, fighting back the urge to vomit at her favoritism. I mimicked Bella's voice. Thanks, Mom. You're the best. No trouble at all. You are the family's treasure. I laughed internally. Bella is the treasure. Zoe is the trash. Across the table, Bella glared at me with jealousy. Mom, with my score, I'm definitely going to Harvard. Shut up! Mom cut her off. Who asked you? Can't you see your sister is sad about her score? Stop rubbing it in. Bella choked on her toast. I watched with glee. The taste of your own medicine is bitter, isn't it, sister? Back in Bella's room, my phone buzzed. It was Ethan, the school genius and the male god of our class. I was surprised. Ethan never talked to Bella. I opened the message. Ethan, Bella, remember to do what we discussed. What did that mean? I checked the chat history. Empty. She deleted everything. The next day, I saw Bella sneaking out. I followed her. She met Ethan at the park. Ethan was dressed up, holding a bouquet of red roses. He looked handsome. They stood together, him and my body. Wait, is he confessing to me? Or the person he thinks is me? I watched from behind a tree. Suddenly, Ethan threw the roses into the trash can and walked away without a word. Bella stood there crying. What just happened? I was so confused I kept following Ethan. After 15 minutes, he stopped and turned around. Come out, you've been following me for blocks. I froze. I hid in an alleyway. But Ethan walked over and dragged me out. Bella, why are you stalking me? I laughed nervously. Ha ha, no reason, just coincidence. Ethan grabbed my collar. Do you think I'm stupid? Tell me the truth or I'll dunk you in that puddle. Okay, I saw you confessing to my sister and then you ran away. I was curious. Ethan raised an eyebrow. Didn't you set up that date for me? Why are you curious? I improvised. Yeah, but you left halfway. I have to know why. Ethan stared at me. Then he smiled. A genuine, warm smile. Do you know why I didn't confess? Why? Idiot. He flicked my forehead and walked away. I ran home, heart pounding. Does he like me? Or does he like Bella? Or does he know? I locked myself in Bella's room. Suddenly, Mom knocked. Bella, are you okay? Did someone bully you? I mimicked Bella. I'm fine, Mom. Good. Come out to the living room. We have a family meeting. I walked out. Dad and Bella, in my body, were on the sofa. Bella's eyes were red and swollen. Dad spoke first and dropped a bomb. We are bankrupt. Bella screamed. What? How? Dad sneered at her. What? Are you blaming me, Zoe? You think I'm useless? Bella turned pale. No, Dad. Shut up, you ungrateful brat. I fed you, clothed you, and now you dare to look down on me? Dad stood up and slapped her across the face. Slap! Bella's head snapped to the side. She held her cheek in shock. You hit me? You never hit me! She lunged at him. Big mistake. Dad grabbed her by the hair and slapped her again and again. You dare fight back? I'll kill you today. I pretended to stop him. Dad, stop! You'll hurt her. Of course he didn't listen. I was his punching bag for years. Now Bella was learning what it felt like. Finally, he threw her on the floor. Her face, my face, was swollen and bleeding. Dad sat down, panting. Listen, we have no money, but Bella wants to retake the SATs. We will support her with everything we have left. He looked at Bella. Zoe. Zoe, girls don't need too much education. I found you a job at a factory. You will work and send money home to support your sister's studies. Bella's eyes widened in horror. She screamed, No! Dad, I have a 1580 score. I can go to Harvard. I can make millions later. Dad kicked her. Shut up. I know you are selfish. You'll make money and leave us. No, you work now. Supporting your sister is your duty. Bella realized the truth. By swapping bodies, she had swapped her future away. She pointed at me, screaming like a banshee. Dad, Mom, I am not Zoe. I am Bella. That bitch used black magic to swap bodies with me. Believe me. I am Bella. Mom shook her head. This child is crazy. She doesn't want to work, so she makes up stories. Good thing we aren't sending her to college. Bella wailed in despair, but no one listened. Watching the chaos unfold, I felt a twisted sense of satisfaction. I went back to my room, Bella's room, humming a tune. Suddenly, my phone buzzed. It was Ethan. Ethan, meet me at the coffee shop across from school tomorrow morning. I stared at the screen. I looked at my reflection in the mirror, Bella's face. What does Ethan want? Does he like me? Or does he like Bella? If he likes me, can he accept me in this body? I knew I was smarter, but Bella was always the prettier, healthier twin. That was why she swapped. The coffee shop. The next morning, I arrived at the cafe. Ethan was already there, dressed casually, with a bouquet of red roses on the table. I sat down. What's up? He looked up. His eyes lingered on my pink dress for exactly 1 second before pointing at the roses. Isn't it obvious? I'm here to confess. He looked me in the eye. Zoe, I like you. My heart skipped a beat. A flush of heat rose to my cheeks. How did you know I'm Zoe? I stammered. Ethan smirked. I knew the day you followed me. The way you look at people. It's completely different from your sister. Bella looks at people like she wants something from them. You look at people like you want to understand them or fight them. I froze. He recognized me with one look. My parents lived with us for 18 years and noticed nothing. I gathered my courage. I like you too, since freshman year. Then I told him everything. The abuse, the bankruptcy, the forced labor. Ethan listened, his face growing darker by the minute. "They are monsters," he said, his voice low and dangerous. "Zoe, don't be afraid. I'll protect you. Cut ties with them. I'll support you." I smiled and shook my head. "Not yet. I want to see them pay." The downfall of Bella. Over the next few days, the house was a war zone. Bella, in my body, screamed, cried, and threatened suicide, but my parents didn't budge. Dad was broke and desperate. He needed money now. When it was time to submit college applications, they locked Bella in her room without internet. They completely extinguished her hope of going to Harvard. When they finally let her out, Bella looked like a ghost. Her eyes were full of madness. She saw me sitting on the sofa, eating fruit and watching TV, living the life she thought she would have. She snapped, "I'll kill you!" She lunged at me with a fruit knife, but before she could reach me, Dad grabbed her. He was already angry from failing to find investors. Seeing Zoe try to hurt his precious Bella, he lost it. He beat her, brutally. "You psycho! Trying to kill your sister? I should have drowned you at birth." He beat her until she couldn't move. Then, he dragged her to the car and drove her straight to the textile factory. He had made a deal with the foreman. Her wages would be deposited directly into his account. Bella, who had never lifted a finger in her life, was forced to work 14-hour shifts on an assembly line, and she didn't get to keep a single cent. The preparation. A month later, I packed my bags for the expensive boarding school Mom had enrolled Bella in. My parents were teary-eyed. "Study hard, honey. You are our only hope." I nodded. "I won't let you down." Leaving that house felt like escaping a prison. At boarding school, I studied like my life depended on it. I wanted to prove that my 1580 score wasn't a fluke. I wanted to be the valedictorian of the entire state. I barely went home that year. I ignored their calls. I focused on myself. The fire. The night before the SATs, my retake, my homeroom teacher called me out of the dorm. Her face was pale. "Bella, I have bad news. There was a fire at your house." My heart stopped. "Your parents and your sister Zoe, they didn't make it." I stood there feeling numb. Only Ethan knew the truth, that Zoe was alive, standing right here. I nodded slowly. "I understand." I didn't go back. Not yet. The exam was tomorrow. To me, escaping this life through education was more important than mourning the people who made my life hell, the aftermath. I walked out of the exam hall feeling light. I saw Ethan waiting for me by the gate, holding a sunflower. He waved, grinning. "I bet Harvard is in the bag," he said. We went back to my old neighborhood. The house was a charred skeleton. Nothing remained. We went to the funeral home to sign the papers for cremation. As we were leaving, the next-door neighbor, a gossipy old lady, pulled me aside. "Bella, dear, do you know how the fire started?" I shook my head. "Accident?" The neighbor looked around nervously, then whispered, "It wasn't an accident. That evening, just before sunset, I saw your sister Zoe." She meant Bella in my body. She looked crazy. She was sneaking around the back with a gas can. She was pouring it everywhere. I wasn't surprised. Bella was spoiled rotten. She couldn't handle the factory work. She couldn't handle the beatings. She couldn't handle the poverty. She probably escaped the factory, came home, and decided that if she couldn't have the life she wanted, no one would. She burned it all down, taking herself and our parents with her. It was a tragic, twisted ending fitting for them. I signed the papers. I buried my parents. But for Zoe's body, I buried her in a separate cemetery far away. That was my original body. I didn't want it to rest next to the people who abused it. Epilogue. A month later, the results came out. 1600, a perfect score, valedictorian of the state. I accepted the offer from Harvard. Ethan and I stood at the airport gate. He was going to MIT, just down the road. I looked back at the city one last time. The abuse, the favoritism, the hatred. It was all ash now. In the end, Bella thought the system was her ticket to happiness. She thought happiness was a pretty face and a high test score. She didn't realize that happiness isn't something you steal. It's something you build. She stole my body, but she couldn't steal my resilience. And that was why she lost. I took Ethan's hand. "Ready?" he asked. "Ready." We walked through the gate into a future that was finally, truly mine. This is a fictional story collected and edited by us for entertainment purposes, and that brings us to the end of Zoe's story. It turns out, the grass isn't always greener on the other side, especially when the other side is built on lies and toxicity. Bella learned the hard way that you can swap bodies, but you can't swap character. But what about you? If you could swap lives with anyone for a day, would you do it? Or are you afraid of the skeletons hiding in their closet? Please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Revenge Reign for more satisfying stories. Goodbye!